Alright, how's it going? Once again, beautiful people of Facebook. Bam! This is Jose Trujillo. I'm back. I'm ready to go a little bit on one of my paintings. And I got my Starbucks ready for me every morning. Twice a day. Okay, guys. So I wanted to touch on something that most people don't touch on. That when they create artwork, when they're trying to show how to create artwork, how to paint and all this stuff, I've noticed that a lot of people don't touch on this, or almost nobody touches on this subject. And that's why I wanted to do my little rants and my little commentary on paintings, because I found that no one was talking. I mean, not that many. No one was talking about it. Not anyone that I know, anyways, was talking about the nitty gritty of things. Why do we feel like working some days? Why do we feel like not working other days? Why, even if you push yourself, you still feel like you can't move forward as an artist? Those little things, I feel like people don't talk about those little things. And I want to touch on that stuff, And today I wanted to talk to you about what happens when you're creating artwork and you don't feel it. You just don't feel the flow, I talk about the flow, and I talk about being how quick I paint. And some people have asked me, dude, you paint too fast. It looks like you're desperate, or slow down, or this or that. And it's not that at all. I mean, I found for me, right? I found what works for me. My flow is very quick. However, I don't enter the flow quick. And that's one of the things I want to touch about. I want to touch with you guys. I do not enter it quick. The reason why is because I catch myself that if I am trying to enter it quick, and when I mean enter it, it's like you're going into somewhere very, 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 very deep when you're going to create artwork. And I know I don't want to sound too airy-fairy or whatever, but this is real. You're going to create artwork, and the painting requires your whole undivided attention, all of it. It doesn't require just a little bit. It requires all of you being there. Like your whole self. Otherwise, you're not painting. I've talked about this in other videos. Otherwise, you're putting paint on a canvas, but you're not really creating artwork. And I discovered that in myself, and I was able to see it in other artists. Now, this is something that I believe. It doesn't mean that it's gospel truth or that you have to believe. It's something that I found creating. I paint about, 12 to 14 hours. I have that kind of experience painting a day. And some days I do less, but for the most part, I paint a lot. I work on artwork a lot, and I've noticed certain things that happen as I'm creating artwork, and I notice certain little things that I catch. For example, if you want to be quick in artwork, you will not reach that unless you slow first. I know it's very esoteric. It is very zen, if you'd like. You can't be quick. So if you want speed, you have to slow down very much, as what I'm doing right now. You have to slow down. If you want to create artwork, but you seem that you can't, check your mind, because time might have just slipped in. The idea of time is one of the worst ones. When most artists, I found this out, when most artists have a problem with production, with creating artwork, usually happens because time has slipped in. I don't have enough time. I should have done that earlier. People are interrupting me. The idea, it's an idea. It's not true. It's false. But the idea is there. the idea of time has set in. And in order to purge that idea out of not enough time, it's time. It usually comes in with a feeling of what do you call it? When that idea comes in, it's very easily to recognize it as the more you start looking, the more you start observing your behavior. But it usually comes in with guilt. It comes in with guilt. It's like, oh man, I don't have enough time. I should have bought that earlier. I haven't done enough. It comes in. So what comes in is desperation. So you're like frantically trying to create artwork or mix your paint, or at that point you're no longer there. So the antidote to get out of that is to slow down. Now, you would never think that I would be talking about that because I paint very, very quick. I mean, most people tell me it's like you look like you're speed painting. The reason is because I'm in flow when I'm doing that. And as you see right now, I'm slowing down because I have that idea of time. So every time I want to enter it, I know that I have to slow down. You can't. The keys to the kingdom, to put it that way, the keys to the kingdom is action, any action. I talked about that in other videos. It's any type of action. You don't have to have the right action. There is no such thing as right action. Right action comes through presence. You have to be in the present moment. It's the only way I can explain it. I don't know how else to explain it. You have to be all in. You have to be there. And you can't be all there if you have time knocking on your door. You can't be all there if you have the idea of lack. The lack of time is the worst lack of all, right? If there's not enough time, then what's the whole point of everything, right? So you really, in order to get back in order to purge that out, you have to fully go in, and you have to sort of, to put it in these words, you kind of have to force yourself to slow down. And when I mean slow down, I'm not talking about, you're like, oh, no, because the whole point of slowing down is to become so, you don't slow down for slowing down. That's not, it's not like I'm asking you to slow down and be very careful what you're doing. No. What I'm saying is, when you slow down, this is what happens. When you slow down, you surrender to the fact that you don't have time, or the guilt, right? You surrender to that idea. Because now all you can do is work with what's in front of you. You can't work with what's behind you, and you can't work with what's ahead of you. Now that is easier said than done. But that is the way. I believe that is the only way out of that. You can't force yourself through it. Now you can be very quick, and because all artwork, I believe, all good artwork is done in the spirit of play. You notice that you're most what do you call it, productive when it feels like you're playing. You're most productive when it feels like it's almost like a sort of like a game. It's not work. It doesn't feel like work. So in order to pick up that momentum and get into that zone place, I know people do different little stuff. For me, what I found out, I've heard people do different things, but it's all the same thing. You have to come back to now. You have to come back to this moment. Because what the problem is that we're avoiding this moment. That's really what happens. I don't want this moment. I want the next one, or I'm stuck in the past one. So if I'm stuck in the past one, I want the next one because the past one is torturing me. So the whole process of this is getting back to this moment. Is getting back to this present moment, right here, right now. You can't. I can't paint tomorrow's paintings, nor I can't paint yesterday's. I can only paint today's. And that is a very difficult thing to do if you don't slow down. Because we want to see what we want to do mostly. One of the things that affects, especially when you're a working artist, is that you want to perform in your peak all the time. And many times your mind is not there, so you have to bring your mind there. You have to bring your, athletes have talked about it, you have to bring your mind to the zone. The zone is the present moment. I don't know why we don't just call it that. Other people call it different things, but really that's all it is. The zone is being so much in the moment that you start to develop what is called right action. Right action is the type of action. For example, I'll start mixing colors. I don't know if you've seen me. I'll start mixing colors that make no sense at all. But they are perfect in my approach. Or I start doing it's intuitive action. It's right action. Your body knows best. Your mind gets suspended. It doesn't get, it's not that it's not working. It's overcome by your instinct. See, the whole point is that we have to quiet the mind. The whole point of this game is quieting the mind, and that's something you can't be. I don't think you can really be taught. Someone can teach you that, or you can learn it somewhere. That is a practice. It's a daily practice. Quieting the mind requires you to stay focused, and in order to stay focused, you have to be completely in. You can't be. You can't paint and think about what you didn't do or what you have to do. You're not painting. You may be painting, you're not creating artwork. I assure you that. I assure you that. I've been doing it for over 20 years. I assure you that you may be painting, but you're not creating artwork. That's why all artwork looks different, and we can't pinpoint which one's good or which one's bad. And unless you're very quiet and still, you start realizing which one's good and which one's bad. And to put it in those words, to put it in good or bad. When I'm trying to say which one has quality and which one is just nicely painted. They're two very different things. I'll leave you with that. My name is Jose Trujillo. I think I managed to paint that sunrise. And I'll come back to you with more awesome stuff, guys. Take care. And I will talk to you later. Oh, let me do a close-up. Bam. Remember, guys, the keys to the kingdom, I'll call it the kingdom, the zone, is to just do any action. Any action is good action. But in order to be quick, in order to be fast, in order to be in flow, you have to first allow yourself to not be fast. You have to allow yourself to be slow. If you want to be quick, you want to be slow first. All right? It's just the way it is. I know it sounds very zen, but you know why? I'm going to let you in a little secret. That's because painting is a zen practice. Or prayer, however you want to call it. I'll leave you with that. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.